Hi! Now, I know I've been away for a very long time, and that's for a very good reason. I've actually been at uni, and now that I'm a year into university and significantly in debt, I decided it's probably a good time to release another video before I lose any more subscribers. Now, you might have noticed that something is a little bit different here, and there's a very good reason for that. I feel like I want to work on this bench. I feel like I want to do more of my videos on this workbench, so I've actually set up a camera rig, which you might have already seen if you follow me on Twitter, @DodgyEngineer. And I can do all sorts of cool things with this. I can move you all around. You can see very clearly all the mess on my bench, which is great. Actually, I'm just going to spend a moment cleaning this up. Do you ever notice a pattern in something? And once you see the pattern, you can't really unsee that pattern. Something happened to me like that with tech YouTubers and a certain brand of product, which I keep seeing cropping up in people's old videos. And I decided, you know, I'm a few years late, but whatever. I might as well get around to doing an iPod episode. So, just come in a little bit closer. Little bit closer. iPod mini, actually. This I ordered off eBay for an embarrassing price, to be honest. And I really like this. It's not turning on. Oh, there we go. I really like this. I got it in the mail a few weeks ago, and I've been listening to my music through it quite a lot. The only problem... Can you see that there? Can you see that there? That is the problem. And I'm going to be trying to fix this in an interesting way. You might not know this about iPods, but they actually have a spinning physical hard disk inside them, which makes them quite vulnerable to things like bumping or being dropped. And I want to change that by converting this to flash. But first, I'm going to be taking a look at some more iPods. Different ones, which should be a little bit easier to disassemble and work on, because yes, I bought more. There's that one, and there's that one. These are both iPod 5.5 gens. To get inside these iPods, you really need something very sharp, like a very thin tool, something like this, because as you can see, the tolerances on these are very fine. There's no way you could get anything thicker than this through there. No way, Jose. And we're in. They don't normally come apart like that. It was gutted by the original owner. I'm not sure why. Probably because it doesn't work. Actually, that'd be a good reason why. So it does actually turn on, but I'll show you in a second what's wrong with this particular iPod. If I go in here and I select any song, what this should do is it should start playing the song, even though there aren't headphones plugged in, I know that. But it should still start playing the song. It just sits there. It doesn't like playing music, which, as an iPod, is kind of a problem. You might see how that would affect the user experience a little. It still plays games. Well, it plays games as well as you can play games with something that's partially disassembled. Yes. Oh, we have Brick, Music Quiz, Parachute, and Solitaire. I'm sure Solitaire is really fun with a click wheel, but I'm not going to try it, because this iPod needs to be repaired. And the thing that I suspect might be the problem is the hard drive. It actually checks out quite well. You can do this, this firmware check thing on the hard drive, where it checks the smart status of the drive, and this one does check out, but being a fairly old drive and making some funny noises, it is a bit suspect. So I'm going to disassemble this one, which has a known good drive, even though it has a few other problems, and put the drive from this one into this iPod to check that it actually works. Find a good entry point. And there are rows of clips down the sides of this, and along the bottom, and along that side, and you have to use the tool to pry down all of the clips in the sides before the front panel can pop off, or more accurately the back panel can pop off in this case, because this one still has its mid-frame, I hope. back panel has been removed. Now, there is a little battery connection down in this corner, which I need to remove first. Yeah, I know what I'm doing, trust me. Now, this battery is looking like a bit of a spicy pillow, gonna be honest, and it has been running out of charge very quickly, so that's gonna be something that needs to be replaced. I'm not sure yet if I want to combine these two into one working iPod, or if I want to splash out and spend the money on parts for both of these. It all depends on which parts are working and which aren't, but we'll see. Here's the hard drive that is good, the one that I want to transplant. So, if I flip this up, you can see that this is a teeny tiny little thin hard drive. And all I want to do is take that connector out. First, I want to look up what kind of zip connector this is, because it's not coming out the way I expect it to. Okay, turns out I was actually right the first time. I was just being a coward because I didn't want to mess it up. I actually have to push up on this black part at the back of the connector, which doesn't seem intuitive given every other ZIF connector in existence, but I guess it works. And there it is. This one, I'll tip the contents of the iPod into the front half just so that it's a little more accessible, and I'll do the same thing. Flip this open, take the hard drive. I'll just see if swapping the drive does actually work. Alright, that's all inserted. Let me button this back up and see if that made any difference whatsoever. It's turning on. Is it going to be a happy iPod? So this one doesn't seem to be playing either. It's not the drive that's dead. It's something else in the iPod, which is very concerning, and it probably means I'm gonna have to use these two iPods to make one working iPod, rather than finding parts to fix both of them, because I really don't know what is wrong with this one at this point. So I'll order some parts to mash these together somehow, and I will see you when I've done that. Actually, never mind. Before I order the parts, I'm just going to put all of the good parts together to make the best iPod that I can for the time being. Then I'll see what's not working still, then I'll order the parts. Video editing me can figure that transition out later. So, the good parts of this completely balked iPod that won't play any music is the back cover, which houses this slightly less spicy battery. The screen, I'm not sure if you noticed, but the screen on the other one looks like it's been deep fried every time it's turned on. Black backgrounds look very fuzzy and staticky, so I'm going to use this screen in that iPod. I'm going to use the motherboard and the front case from this iPod, since it's not scratched and broken. So, very easy to swap over. All I need to do is undo this connector, and undo the same one from the working motherboard. And I need to do the screen, which is going to be a bit tricky because the mid-frame is still attached to this one. Now, as I've said, I'm a complete novice with these, but I can see that it is held on by several screws. I believe I need to undo the screen's connector first. Let's try that. There we go, that's that out of the way. You can tell I'm new to this because I plugged this in before I took the mid-frame out. That looks right. Okay, let's see if this is going to come out now. That looks like a clip. It appears that it's still stuck to the board, though I'm not sure how. There are little rubber guards around what looks like two little inductors at the bottom. I just took one off from there. Now will it come out? I've enlightened myself through the power of iFixit. Turns out, the frame isn't actually meant to come off the logic board. The frame, the logic board, and the display are meant to come off the front panel. And I really didn't need to know that because it looks like I've already freed the display. There we go. Here's the good display from the crap iPod. Now that also needs to be undone from the logic board. Okay, now I'll screw this back up and put the little rubber guards in and put that on and put the hard drive in, and we should be good to go. We should have a moderately working iPod. I've got this all back together now, including the little rubber bumpers, and time to get... I'm pretty sure it was this one that I said was good. Time to get this back on. Since this hard drive has been cleared of all charges, it's been found not guilty to be the cause of the songs not playing, I'm going to steal the missing rubber bumper off this hard drive, which is significantly noisier and significantly older by the looks of it. Come on! Give it here! Alright, that's it. I'm gonna stick this on here. Yeah, it's a different colour, but it does the same job. And I'm gonna chuck this hard drive into the good iPod, because it's not making as many unhappy noises as the other drive is, even though I thought that this one was the good working drive earlier. In you go. Go on. Squish it into place. Time to plug this in and see if it works. I see an Apple logo. I see a very bright Apple logo. Oh, that's you, look. Can we see me? Ah, too late. Well, music, songs. Won't be able to hear anything, but let's see if it plays. There we go. It's playing, which means it's time to seal this back up and have a single sort of working, mostly done iPod. Come on, go together. There we go. I think that's in. That actually fits a lot better than the other iPod case. For some reason this back case, I think the clips on this side here aren't aligned very well or something, because there was always like a little gap just along this edge. Anyway, seems to be working. Okay, that's this one semi-done. I'll need to order some parts for that. I haven't forgotten about this one. This one is still happening. The parts for this actually should be arriving before the parts for this one, because I've already ordered the parts for this. So I will cut the video here and see you when I get the parts for this one.